Welcome back to the channel, and today I've got a wild idea. Listen to this. Two of the newest parts in Trailmakers are tank tracks and ship screws or ship propellers. Now hear me out. What if both? Insane, right? So my goal is not to just make a tank that has propellers on it. I want there to be a transformation process, or a transformation, two forms, basically. It's not just gonna be one form that can do both land tank and water tank. I want essentially the tank tracks to kind of rotate outwards, go flat, and then I don't know if this is gonna work very well. The big obstacle, these things are 200 kilograms and we gotta make them float. So that's a big limitation right there. But maybe something can happen. Also, these things are massive and these things are massive. Like, do these have the same hitbox? They do kind of have the same hitbox. How are we gonna attach them? In other words, hard challenge, okay? Like, if I have these next to each other and then these on the other side. Let's see, look how wide that is. Oh, these things, maybe I just use the smaller ones, like a bunch of smaller ones, you know? But these things look so much better. Well, hold on a sec. But even these are kind of a big hitbox a little bit. And I need flotation in here somehow. All right, I should have thought about this a little bit more before starting the video. Everything was just riding on the fact that these two things have to be combined somehow. Okay. All right, I don't know yet. Still don't know, but things are happening in a positive direction. Uncertainties are becoming less uncertain. For example, big old buoyancy block right there. Okay, all right. And then on this side, big old buoyancy block. All right, highly doubt that these are like, how much are the 37 kilograms times 4 for these ship screws plus 200 kilograms per side. I highly doubt these 12 kilogram hull blocks are going to be able to make those float. You know what? Let's add another one in the middle here, and let's just put a seat on this thing and see how heavy does this thing feel. In the water we go. This is not gonna work very well. Okay. Unless, you know what? Maybe we just don't need as many ship screws. All right, new test. I've doubled the buoyancy. Nope. It's getting somewhere, though. Kinda. Do these take up the same hitbox? Oh, they do take up the same hitbox. If I put something in the middle here, I don't want it to be attached. I actually want buoyancy in the middle. That is not part of the sides, because the sides have to rotate outwards. How we doing? Float. I haven't noticed a single difference in how fast we're going down. Well, look at this. Our propellers aren't even rotating the right way. All right, so here was like my mental plan of tank versus boat. It was gonna go like that. The problem is, in either the orientation is not gonna change how buoyant I am. So we got a big buoyancy problem right now. Unless I can actually potentially, maybe, perhaps, add buoyancy here. Do I feel any more buoyant? We're sinking so fast. Okay, more buoyancy needed. But I don't want to just be, slapping on buoyancy that looks weird. I want to preserve the tank. All right, you know what? Less propellers. We only really need the front and the back. All right, that's a decent increase in buoyancy. Boat. I did not expect it to boat. We're boating. This might actually have potential. This might actually have potential. I can't believe it. We're on to something. We are on to something. You know what? I can have... Oh, I have room for more buoyancy. Okay. And now, how floaty are we? Oh, yeah. Okay. But can we... Ground clearance isn't the greatest, but is it? Is it? Do we have the ground clearance? Here, let's add some stuff. Engines. Tank steering unit. All right. Steers like a charm. I'm also going to add tank steering into my propellers. I know that that is a viable option. Okay, looking okay. All right, maybe we don't use this seat. Like, what's a good tank? I mean, tanks usually don't really have, like, windshields, do they? All right, I got an idea. So I want my propellers... I want my propellers not to work when I'm on land. But I also want them to have tank steering. So there's gonna have to be a handful of things going on here. So let's do some logic to get these controls working. So first, let's just have our forward and back logic gate. So positive, negative goes into all propellers. And then all propellers do not have their own input. So, yep, that works. All right, so now we don't want that to work if this distance sensor, or I guess we should have altitude sensor. If this altitude sensor trigger below 0 relative to waves. So now, here, let's put this on top of our vehicle for reference so we can see it's working. So then we need an AND gate. So this AND gate needs an input from my forward and back controls and the altitude sensor. So now the propellers shouldn't work and they're working. Why are they working? The AND gate shouldn't be working. Wait, do these have the controls? No? Okay. This goes out to... Oh, no. Okay, so then the SW doesn't go there. The SW goes into the AND gate, and the AND gate is now what controls those. But is the positive and negative going to output? Oh, hold on. Let's get into ocean. All right, now we're there. Okay, we're at 0. I guess we got to trigger... There is no below 0. So we have to trigger below 1. Because what is it? Well, I guess... What is this altitude? 5? Oh, I'm like up, though. Okay, hold on. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Yeah, so we need to trigger below 1, I guess. Trigger below 1. Wee. All right, so now we have the positive. And if I put the negative... Okay, we can't go negative. So now we need 2 separate of these. This one is not going to have a negative. This one is going to output... Oh, wait, no, it can't output negative. I'm going to need 2 different AND gates. That's what I'm going to need. Oh, that's not fun. You know what? I'm going to need a whole lot more than this. So we're going to have W and, I guess, W and S, positive and negative. No, we need 2 positives. We need a positive W and we need a positive S. And then what happens is we have an AND gate per... Nope. This is complicated. Okay, because we need an OR gate per direction. Forward, back, left, and right. No, we need an OR gate. I know what to do in my head. I don't know how to say it. Let me do it. We have an OR gate up here. This is left side forward. This is left side backwards. Okay? This is right side forward and right side backwards. So left side... This is positive output to these ones. This one is positive output to the right ones. This one is a negative output to the right ones. The back left is a negative output to the left propellers. All right, so we got those signals going. So now we need to route a signal to each of those that is also only routing if we are above sea level. The reason why these have to be or instead of and is because I need them to react to forward, back, left, and right. Like I need all of those inputs to be valid and not simultaneous. And if they happen simultaneously, they have to like, the sum of them has to output. So I think I need an AND gate also per side. I don't know. This is my intuition right now. I'm just going to roll with it and see if I can figure it out. So I know that the altitude sensor has to go to all AND gates because that is the AND. These AND gates are going to be forward, back, left, and right. Oh, I think this works. We just use the AND gates for our inputs. So this one is a positive W. This one is a positive S. This one is a positive A. This one is a positive D. It receives a signal from the altitude sensor. So now it needs those inputs plus the altitude sensor to output. That worked. Okay, that was it. I was way more complicating it, forgetting that we can have an input in the AND gate itself, and it doesn't have to receive an input from another gate, which would have been the OR gates. All right, this I think simplifies things. So now, if we want to go forward, we activate both forward OR gates. If we want to go backwards, we activate both backwards OR gates. If we want to go left, forward, right, back, left. If we want to go right, forward, left, back, right. Now we should have tank steering with propellers in the water. So forward, backward, left. Oh, something's not happening correctly. Oh, all of these logic gates are also hooked into the propellers. That is a problem. I don't know how that happened. I didn't do that. Okay, now it should work. All right, now forward, backwards, then left. There it is. Now we're turning on the spot. And then right. All right, and then... Oh, I should be like this, actually. Yeah. That's better. Whoa, boy, that's not better. And then if we go on land... the propellers should stop. Oh, look at that. Genius. IR genius. Okay, so now... Can we hide all this? What is this? This is the altitude sensor. Oh, I guess the altitude sensor... If it goes lower, it will detect lower. But I don't know, I'll have it right here, I guess. All right, and then these four can fit right there. Oh, that's gonna break things. Wait, that doesn't make sense, does it? Or is that fine? Are these attached right there? Those are attached right there. They shouldn't, this shouldn't work. Is that attached? Okay. I think this is technically not supposed to work, but it's working. And I'm just gonna not complain about things working that shouldn't be working. The reason why it shouldn't work is because this is attached over here and it is attached right here and here. So this should not be able to open up like that because it is technically attached at the middle, but it's doing what I want it to do. Why complain when I'm ahead? All right, now here's the problem. I want to make this thing look like a tank, which means adding more weight to it. And we're barely floating on the surface here, as is. Look at that. That's bad. That's pretty bad. All right, engines might be better suited up front for weight purposes. I think I am going to want to use a little bit of gyro stabilization to keep from tipping over too much. Just because boats are kind of like that, you know? This shouldn't really affect me on the ground because it's relatively weak. But when we go on the water, I was tipping over anyway. I mean, I'm so heavy. I guess I really do need a little bit more, don't I? Oh, boy. Strength 5. All right, this is looking a little smooth. Oh, I should be like that. I keep forgetting to switch into tank boat mode. This looks pretty cool. I'm liking this. Okay, all right, that's feeling good. Now let's get back on the ground here. Smooth. All right, everything's working great right now. Let's not ruin it. All right, so if this is here, does that ruin this? Once again, shouldn't work. It's working. Let's just not complain about it. Let's just not complain about the things that we actually want to happening. How we doing? We're doing fine. Collisions and all. Okay, so we got that. Now let's tankify it. Oh, button no longer works. I just broke it somehow. Why does it break? How did that break it? Hold on, let's delete the blocks I just added. Okay, it still works somehow. Wait, is there an issue with attaching this to this? Like if I don't have this middle block, we're fine. If I add this middle block, we're not fine. Oh, we're so not fine anymore. All right, logic needs a new home. And the home where the heart is. And that happens to be the butt of my tank. All right, now it works. I feel like it still shouldn't work because I'm noticing these are also attached right there. So explain that one, Trailmakers. All right, I'm just gonna keep going until it stops working and then fix it. I feel like that is the life of a Trailmaker. Oh, stopped working. And I think it is these. Can I replace these with other buoyancy and somehow still float? Like if I put a bunch of these facing inwards, they will not be able to attach on the outside. But does the same area have the same buoyancy? All right, so there we go. Now it should work. Now this is like legitimately working where I don't have any conflicting attachment points. But are we buoyant enough? Looks fine. Actually, is this even more buoyant, perhaps? I'm feeling good about that. Okay, all right, we're getting somewhere. The ground clearance on this thing is bad. Time to continue building tank. Or am I building a boat? I'm building the tank. It's the tank part. I already built the boat part. Boat part was the bottom, tank part top. Boat bottom, tank top. Tank top is not, is a different thing. But I just appreciated the alliteration that the tank is on top and the boat is on bottom. Didn't expect to say tank top, which is nothing to do with any of that. All right, I have an interesting idea for like the window of the tank. You know how tanks have those like really zero peripheral view window, like little slots to see out of? That's what I'm about to make right now. There we go. So we got that. And then we can attach like that. And look at my little character in there. Perfect view. You know, I guess I could have it be worse, but also potentially better if I do a smaller window like that. But you can't see my face anymore. Yeah, I'm kind of glitching in a little bit. I think I just like this one better. Then it looks fine. Okay, do I add a turret to this thing? It's looking a little weird in the back right now. It's looking a little blocky in the back. I don't know, but like it has to kind of has to. And maybe, perhaps, something like this? No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted something like this? Yeah. Yeah, I think option number 2. Actually, this is starting to look even cooler. Made a couple of modifications over here. All right, this is taking shape. It's starting to look less like a 5-year-old built it a little bit. All right, now I'm gonna try to see if I can build a turret that doesn't look stupid. I feel like I have trouble with building turrets that are smooth, but also look good. I kind of lost track of my thought in the middle of the sentence there. Because you kind of need it to be separated from the servo a little bit. If the servo is flush like this. Oh wait, well, I should be using an, I forgot. I should be using an aiming servo. All right, so if I want it to go smoothly, I need to make sure it's not attached to any of these blocks. And that is usually the challenge. Feel like if I do that, that's bad. But if I do that, seems fine. But then I can't make it flush on the sides, really. Man, I really feel like these need attachment points on the sides. Because these have no way to attach unless there's something underneath them. Forgot I also need up and down aiming servos. See, I'm already running into an issue sometimes. Okay, now it's working fine. Yeah, I have like up and down aiming, but I can't aim down at all. So if anything gets close, it's pretty useless. I have to aim in that direction. Unless I elevated this by a block, then I could at least afford to aim down a little bit. And that's looking pretty good. But now that makes it harder to look good. Harder to design it well. It looks cooler to me when they're like flush against the body, but it's really hard to build like that in Trailmakers when you have things, attachment points like that. You'd have to use like piston glitching or something to really get the effect you want. And piston glitching is an art that I have not mastered. I don't know what happened here. I built a weird turret, okay? It's a weird turret. It's unique and weird. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It works though, okay? All right, I got paint. I got paint on this thing. Now the question is, do I still float? I don't even know the answer to that. But I'm realizing now I want these things to be a different color. All right, here we go. All right, float. Hey, it floats. Everything still works. All right, it's not the best in the waves. Let's turn waves off. Gyro stabilization up. Okay. All right, this is pretty good. This is actually looking pretty good. All right, let's do a smooth water to land transition here. I gotta be honest, I surprised myself with that one. All right, now we need a smooth... I don't know if a smooth land to water transition is likely just because of the mass. You know what? That was actually pretty good. That was actually pretty good. I'm actually kind of surprised how good this thing has turned out. If only I could add some better, like, aerodynamics on the bottom here, because it's terrible. Actually, let's see. These things add aerodynamic. Yeah, see, that's what I'm dealing with on the bottom. That's not good. I can at least make it slightly better by adding this in here. But the hitbox of these is just completely overriding my ability to place any blocks here. So that's why. I mean, it still works in this form fine. It's just cooler to transform, okay? Unnecessarily complex transforming tank boat. Over-engineering tank boat. Just brainstorming video titles right now that are accurate. You just gotta love the water in the face. Like, you know, with the way that the front wedges are dipping slightly underwater. You know, the pilot is just getting globs of water to the face if there's no glass there. Actually, what does first person look like? Fantastic. Oh, this is more like it, actually. This is more like what he's actually seeing. Okay. That's not terrible. Cool. Cool. It was actually kind of cool aiming the turret in first person. Oh, that one went through. Because the turret doesn't turn my seat. So that's actually kind of works. This is actually kind of interesting. I don't know if I've ever done first person with a turret before that actually worked. And it's not bad as far as the aiming goes. Aim at that corner there. Okay, I mean, it's not the easiest, but it's not terrible. Can I hit that killer thing? Obviously, I needed to account for bullet drop a little bit more. You know what? Not bad. Let's aim for the numbers. Oh, hold on. And right there. Okay. Close enough. Close enough to do damage. This is actually a kind of nice first-person view. Wait, am I in tank? Yeah, I'm in... Okay, cool. Let's do a water to land transition in first person, just to see, get the full experience, you know? Now, 72 kilometers an hour. Not bad for a boat, to be honest. And it's a tank steering boat, too. So I think it's pretty good maneuverability. I'm happy with this. All right, ready? Look at that. This is not bad. I think this is a good vehicle. All right, now the land to water transition experience in first person. Here we go. You know what? I think it's more fun going from land to water in first person. That was actually, it's actually pretty immersive, this first person view. Okay, then on to land. That was my transformer sound. And ooh. This is kind of fun in first person. First person tank battles? You guys want to think that you think that'll be a fun thing? The only thing is, like, we can't be first person in the turret. So, like, we won't be able to turn around and see behind us, you know? Because if you're first person in the turret, the aiming servo doesn't work. You could do first person in the turret if you're using mechanical controls, but mouse controls will not work because your mouse does not is not compatible with an aiming servo if the aiming servo turns your view as well. All right, let's go back out third person here. And one final demo. Land, the ocean. Beep, beep, boop. All right, so what do you guys think? Boat, tank, a bank, or a tote. Those are both words for other things too. So I guess those are taken already. What would you call it? What would you call a boat tank? Oh wait, am I noticing something? I'm noticing one slight thing I want to change. There we go. I just wanted to add some wedges underneath like that, so it wasn't just like a super flat bottom. I think that works. All right, what do you guys think of it? Let me know down in the comments below. If you have any other ideas of cool things you'd like to see built in Trailmakers, leave those comments as well. If you enjoyed this video, you'll probably enjoy some more. You can find it right here on the end screen. Hope this video has earned your subscription. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.